Coming to you guys with breaking news. Normally we say, let's get it, let's go. Kevin Stefanski has officially been fired by the Cleveland Browns. He has released a statement. Jimmy Haslam has released a statement on this entire matter. Guys, it's the day of reckoning for Kevin Stefanski. About 15 to 20 minutes ago, the Cleveland Browns released a statement telling the world that Kevin Stefanski has been relieved of his duties. He will no longer lead the cause for the Cleveland Browns. He will no longer be the head coach of this football team. This is national news. All the reports has been true. Everything has been true in regards to Kevin Stefanski. They wasted no time.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick Shedeur. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
He's been tough, you know, and it's good. I think I grew and I learned a lot from him. I think this week we had a conversation just about things. You know what I'm saying? Just about things in general. And I feel like, you know, we grew to understand each other. You know, we share different things, you know, that we both will go through, you know. So I know he wanted this win, and I know he wants every win, but I know this one means a lot. I don't know. I wish we all, like, as a team, and I wish everybody could have got more personal, you know, within this last year.
The NFL just confirmed groundbreaking news. Jimmy Haslam fired Kevin Stefanski immediately after Shadur Sanders' performance against the Bengals, and the official statement reveals everything about why this happened now. About 15 to 20 minutes ago, the Cleveland Browns released a statement telling the world that Kevin Stefanski has been relieved of his duties. He will no longer be the head coach of this football team. But here's what makes this explosive. The statement says, "Our results over the last 2 seasons have been unsatisfactory, and we believe a change in position is necessary." And then comes the most important line. Andrew Berry will continue to lead our football operations. Andrew Berry is staying because he did one thing right. He drafted Shadur Sanders. This is a double-edged sword. Shedeur saved Andrew Berry's job, but got Kevin Stefanski fired. But the real reason Stefanski got fired is because he started Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur for 5 games when it was clear Shedeur was light years ahead. And now, with Kevin gone, Dillon Gabriel is next. Mark these words. Dillon Gabriel will not make this roster in 2025. The Shadur Sanders era just officially began, and Kevin Stefanski paid the ultimate price for sabotaging it.
Andrew Berry will continue to lead the football operations. Now, for all of the people that thought the brother was finna get fired, I'm here to tell you, he staying. You want to know why Andrew Berry staying? Andrew Berry is staying because he did one thing right. And the one thing right Andrew Berry did was draft the man that hold his wrist up in the air, rock number 12, and his last name is Sanders, and his damn daddy is in the Hall of Fame for the NFL. Shedeur. That's why Andrew Berry get the stay. So basically, this is a double-edged sword. Shedeur saved Andrew's job, but he got Kevin Stefanski fired. But really, he didn't get Kevin Stefanski fired. Kevin Stefanski got his own ass fired when he decided to start.
Look, I need you to understand the magnitude of what just happened. This isn't just another coaching change. This is the Cleveland Browns officially acknowledging that Kevin Stefanski's sabotage of Shadur Sanders cost him his job, and the statement from Jimmy Haslam makes it crystal clear. Let me read you exactly what the Browns released. Kevin Stefanski has been relieved of his duties as the Cleveland Browns football coach. We have tremendous gratitude for Kevin Stefanski's leadership of the Cleveland Browns over the last 6 seasons. Managing and principal partners Dee and Jimmy said in a statement, "He's a good football coach, an even better person. We appreciate all of his hard work and dedication to our organization, but our results over the last 2 seasons have been unsatisfactory, and we believe a change in position is necessary." Unsatisfactory results over the last 2 seasons. That's the key phrase, because what happened over the last 2 seasons? Kevin Stefanski assembled the worst offensive line in the NFL. He refused to give Shadur Sanders first-team reps. He started Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur for 5 games, despite it being obvious that Shedeur was the superior quarterback. But here's where the statement gets really interesting. Andrew Berry will continue to lead our football operations. Andrew Berry is staying. And you want to know why? Because Andrew Berry did one thing right. He drafted the man who wears number 12, whose last name is Sanders, whose daddy is in the Hall of Fame. Shedeur Sanders. That's why Andrew Berry gets to stay. This is a double-edged sword. Shedeur saved Andrew Berry's job, but he got Kevin Stefanski fired. But let me be clear about something. Shedeur didn't get Kevin Stefanski fired. Kevin Stefanski got his own ass fired when he decided to start Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur for 5 games. 5 games where it was clear, crystal clear, that Shedeur was light years ahead. And you know what's about to happen next? Dillon Gabriel is gone. If I'm Dillon Gabriel right now, I'm scared as hell. Because you know what we were hearing all season long? Oh, he's Kevin's guy. That is Kevin's guy.
It's a great job. Andrew Berry's going to pick our next coach.
Why?
Because he's done such a great job.
Yep.
Half-assery at its finest. We predicted half-assery, and you got it.
It makes no sense to me.
I understand people think he had a good draft this year. But what is the state of the Cleveland Browns offense and why?
What happened last time the Browns GM hired a head
He literally did this whole fucking drafting class.
coach?
I think he's better than the family trying to do it themselves.
Rich, here's the other problem to me. Like, I don't know who else is going to come available as a part of this. There are rumors about LaFleur in Green Bay and rumors about what Harbaugh's future looks like in Baltimore. None of those guys are going to want to come here and bow at the feet of Andrew Berry. Are you kidding me?
I think it's silly, but that's what they're doing.
Well, guess what? Your guy is gone. Your alley-oop is cleaned up out of there. Dillon Gabriel is next to go. Mark my words. I'm the first one saying this. Dillon Gabriel is not going to make this roster. Dillon Gabriel shouldn't even be in the damn NFL. He had his little 15 minutes of fame. Get him the hell on up out of here. He is going to be gone in 2025. I promise you. I don't see them wasting any time getting him out of there. Now, the statement continues with something that's critically important for understanding where the Browns are going. We have a deciding young core to build upon. Andrew and his team are intent on adding talent to this core and building out a roster that can achieve sustainable success. A young core to build upon. Who do you think that young core is centered around? Shadur Sanders. That's who Jimmy Haslam is talking about when he says young core. Shadur Sanders and the elite rookie defenders who have been balling out all season. And Andrew Berry's job is to add talent to that core, which means drafting elite offensive linemen to protect Shadur, which means getting him weapons at wide receiver, which means building a championship roster around a franchise quarterback on a rookie contract. That's the plan. That's what this statement is telling you. The Shadur Sanders era has officially begun, and everyone who stood in the way, Kevin Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel, all of them are getting cleared out. Now, Jimmy Haslam is scheduled to speak to the media in about the next hour to talk about what's the next process moving forward with finding a coach. He might already have a coach. For all we know, this could be an introduction ceremony. But before we get to that, let me read you Kevin Stefanski's obituary, because that's what this is. This is a damn obituary for Kevin Stefanski. The statement says, on January 13, 2020, in his first season, Kevin Stefanski led the team to its first playoff appearance in 2022 and its first playoff victory in 26 years. He notched the most wins, 11, by a first-year Browns head coach since Paul Brown had 12 in his inaugural season in 1946. Ain't that crazy? The Browns haven't had over 11 wins by a first-year coach since 1946. That's why the Browns have sucked for so long. They've been a dysfunctional organization for decades.
But here's the thing. Those 11 wins in Kevin Stefanski's first season, that was with a different team. That was before he dismantled the offensive line. That was before he sabotaged Shadur Sanders. That was before the wheels fell off. And now, Kevin Stefanski released his own statement about 2 minutes ago. Let me read it to you.
And guess what? Shedeur launched this down the field under pressure every single play. It don't matter what protection you're in. They end up getting pressure on Shadur Sanders. Throws this. Now look at the ball placement. One-on-one coverage leads him perfectly towards the sideline, obviously, right? But look, it drops it in a bucket. Drops it in an absolute bucket for Sal Cannella. And guess what? He drops it. Get Shedeur some receivers. Get him. Listen, shout out to Sal Cannella. He had a big catch last week, I think. But man, this has got to be a tough.
After 6 seasons as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, I leave with an immense sense of gratitude. When I arrived in January 2020, this organization, this community, and Browns fans opened their arms. I cannot express properly in words how good we've been treated. A sincere thank you to everyone I've been blessed to work with over the past 6 years. I'd like to especially thank my coaching staff and the players who did everything that was asked of them. They fought through injury and adversity while always putting the team first. I wish all of you nothing but success. You know what's missing from that statement? An apology to Shadur Sanders. He should have said, "I'm sorry, Shedeur, for sabotaging you. I'm sorry for not giving you first-team reps. I'm sorry for starting Dillon Gabriel over you when you were clearly the better quarterback. I'm sorry for giving you the wrong play cards. I'm sorry for assembling the worst offensive line in the NFL and putting your life at risk every single week." But he didn't say that, because Kevin Stefanski still doesn't understand what he did wrong. He still doesn't understand that his ego and his stubbornness cost him his job. Now, Mary Kay Cabot reported that owner Jimmy Haslam will address the media at the team facility at 9:45 with an open locker room. General Manager Andrew Berry will speak at 12:30 today. We haven't heard from Andrew Berry since about August, and you know what people are going to ask him? They're going to ask him about trading Joe Flacco. They're going to ask him about the offensive line. They're going to ask him about Dillon Gabriel. They're going to ask him about his plan to build around Shadur Sanders. And Andrew Berry better have good answers, because the only reason he still has a job is because he drafted Shadur Sanders. If he had drafted any other quarterback in that 5th round, he'd be fired right alongside Kevin Stefanski. Now, let me show you what some critics are saying about Andrew Berry staying while Kevin Stefanski gets fired, because this is important context. One analyst said, "It's a great job. Andrew Berry's going to pick our next coach. Why? Because he's done such a great job." The sarcasm is dripping. They're saying Andrew Berry has not done a great job, yet he's still the one picking the next head coach. Another analyst responded, "Half-assery. We predicted half-assery, and you got it. Makes no sense to me. I understand people think he had a good draft this year, but what is the state of the Cleveland Browns offense and why? What happened last time the Browns GM hired a head coach?" That's a great point. The Cleveland Browns offense is a disaster. They have the worst offensive line in the NFL. They have inconsistent receivers. They've cycled through multiple quarterbacks. And Andrew Berry is responsible for assembling that roster.
This football game with the field goal. Unbelievable job here. 3rd and 1, 38 seconds left to go. We're going to get our running back Samson out in the flats. We're going to get a sideline go ball down the left side. Shallow cross by the tight end. We are going to get a late release by Jerry Jeudy into a crosser over the middle of the field. And because he's a late release, we're getting a guy in the way. We're going to get inside leverage early. Now, Shedeur on this play goes through what we call a full field read. What is beautiful about this is he scans left. He wants that sideline go ball.
Now let me tell you what this means for the immediate future, because this isn't just about who the next head coach is going to be. This is about the entire culture shift that's happening in Cleveland right now. The Shadur Sanders era has officially begun. Not in Week 13 when he got his first start, not after the Steelers win when Myles Garrett praised him. Now, today with Kevin Stefanski's firing, because Kevin Stefanski represented the old Cleveland Browns, the Browns who cycled through quarterbacks, the Browns who made excuses, the Browns who sabotaged their own players, the Browns who refused to commit to building around young talent. But the new Cleveland Browns, the Browns that Jimmy Haslam is building starting today, are centered around Shadur Sanders. Everything from here on out is about maximizing Shedur's talent. Everything is about putting him in position to succeed. Everything is about building a championship roster around a franchise quarterback. And everyone who stood in the way of that vision got fired. Kevin Stefanski, gone. Dillon Gabriel, next. Anyone else who doesn't believe in Shadur Sanders, cleared out. This is a complete culture shift. This is the Browns saying, we're done with the dysfunction. We're done with the sabotage. We're done with the excuses. We have a franchise quarterback, and we're going all in on building around him. And you know what that means for the offseason? It means everything is on the table. Free agency, the draft, trades, whatever it takes to get Shadur Sanders the support he needs. Jimmy Haslam's statement said it perfectly. We have a deciding young core to build upon. Andrew and his team are intent on adding talent to this core and building out a roster that can achieve sustainable success. Sustainable success. That's the goal. Not just one playoff appearance, not just one good season. Sustained success built around Shadur Sanders. The NFL just confirmed groundbreaking news. Jimmy Haslam fired Kevin Stefanski immediately after Shedur's Bengals performance. The official statement says results over last 2 seasons have been unsatisfactory, and Andrew Berry will continue to lead football operations. Andrew Berry is staying because he drafted Shedeur. That one decision saved his job. But Shedeur also got Stefanski fired because Kevin started Dillon Gabriel over him for 5 games, when Shedeur was clearly superior. Dillon Gabriel is next to go. He will not make the 2025 roster. The statement says, we have a young core to build upon. That's Shedeur. The Shadur Sanders era officially began today with Kevin Stefanski's firing. Everyone who sabotaged Shedeur getting cleared out. Subscribe for daily updates on the Browns coaching search and who they're targeting to lead the Shadur Sanders era. The dysfunction is over. Championship building starts now. Let's ride with 12. Let's go.